You guys are going to have to bear with us on this one because I will tell you right out of the gates, we are an English review channel and this has absolutely no English on it. This is the Mooink Plus's home screen. We will navigate this as best we can from what we've learned by just kind of keystrokes. You have your Wi-Fi, you have search for updates and refresh. This is your settings. To answer all questions completely at the beginning of this video, yes, we did go through every single setting here, and there is absolutely no way to change this, any of the language, any of the geographic locations, any of the store locations. You cannot change this to English. So you have some time settings. Using my Japanese skills, I can read about 4% of what everything says on here. So that says day, that says use, 24, small, time, etc., but it doesn't really translate that well. You have some time settings. That was the same thing I just clicked on. These are for page turns, automatic page turning. You do have SD card capabilities and what is on the actual device. And then this one takes you to the store to read all of, online to read all of the disclaimers and everything. And then here is what it is running. So you see it's the Mooink Plus. It is running Android 4.4.2, although it does not have any ability to sideload in APKs or anything like that. And that's basically it. You have the version number as well. So we have scanned for updates as of September 2019. No English updates as of yet. This thing is very nice though. You have physical page turn buttons and you even have a glow light button on the side that toggles on and off the glow light. It's very nice and it's not intrusive whatsoever. I would have liked to see more devices implement that. It doesn't take a whole lot of space and I think it's actually nice to have a single tap glow light button. So this is your home screen. You have some books in the middle. You have, well, the buying, that says buy, that says read. So buying a book, I would imagine. This is what is on your device. No matter what folder we put a PDF in, documents, the root, or even an SD card, it does not show PDFs on here. I'm not sure if that was something left out, but there are no PDF functionality on this as we can see it. There was about 8 or 9 folders in this device when we plugged it in via USB. PDFs just did not take. We put about 5 PDFs as well. You do have the top bar actually doesn't change based on where you are. That is essentially the swipe down. So no matter where you are on that, it is going to just, those 3 dots are going to refer to the top down. You can also go here for some reading statistics, how much you've read. Obviously we haven't read anything yet because it is just a device for testing. If any Chinese viewers are watching this, or people that can read Chinese, feel free to weigh in on the conversation. You do have some ways to change your light, and you have your account down here that says personal, and I can't read the other ones, so that's the account that has been pre-logged in for us for review purposes. So let's just look at a book because that's what we can really dive into on this device. The books, of course, will be in English if you have an English book, because that has to do with the actual file, not the device itself. Page turns work very well. They're very quick. It gets to a chapter, it has to load a little bit, so I'm not a big fan of that. You can tap, you can swipe, and actually if you look at here at the location, if you press and hold, it speeds really quickly. 2003, 2091, 2100, it goes through really quick. Now there's nothing like chapter jump with a double tap or anything like that. It simply just jumps 2 pages if you do that. So it's not incorporating a lot of the Barnes & Noble stuff there. So you do have some stuff here. Bear with me once more. That is highlight. And if you go here, you can click on make a note. Although there is no English on the UI, there is an English keyboard because obviously English is pretty relevant in all nations. The keyboard is actually really quick, is good at typing. There we go. So you can do that, and you can, it says send is what that actually, send and out, what that actually says. Probably save Highlighting something again, we will highlight the letter K. The highlights are very weird because they span actually the bottom of the top line and they go very high. You can see that it actually highlights more than just the character itself, but the space between. You do have this setting here. If we go back, we can choose this one, and this will be dictionary. You can actually read that one. And if you click OK, it actually doesn't find anything, I guess, because you're looking in English. And even if you do one word, it doesn't find anything. This one is Google, so it will search your word in Google. And I didn't highlight very well, so it's just searching kind of gibberish at this point. And this one is Wikipedia, so every time it does prompt you, would you like to go here, would you like to go here, etc. So that is something you're going to have to live with when you take highlights and long presses. This last setting, I don't know what it does, and I can't read that. That says sentence, no, go. So the other ones don't really make sense to me. I'm not actually sure what that's saving, if it is doing anything at all. So as you swipe, you can click the top right corner, and that will allow you to do a bookmark. Clicking in the center, you do have some stuff here, table of contents. You do have text as well, so you can change it like that. Everything does change live. You can change the margins. You can change whether you want to read traditionally vertically or kind of Western style left and right. You can change the font style. All of these are not going to work very well with the English characters because they are using Chinese font code, basically. So a lot of devices like Onyx will have codes for Russian, Cyrillic, Hebrew, etc. This one actually is primarily just Chinese. And I'm assuming this is probably publisher's defaults, although I'm not entirely sure. And you have a toggle here as well, and I honestly don't know what that does either, so I hope you guys can really weigh in on this if we do have a Chinese audience, because we've asked these guys for information as to what everything does, and we really just can't get much out of them. So they sent this to us to review, but it is very much locked into the Chinese marketplace. You do have the ability to switch into landscape, although it does not have its own gyroscope, so you will not be able to do that with anything except the software driven keys at the top. It won't actually do it if you tilt the device. And then you have some information here, but it really just shows the book, and it doesn't actually even show the extension. So I'm pretty sure the fact that it doesn't run PDFs and doesn't show the extension on a lot of the files you load in, it might have some errors recognizing certain extensions. I'm not entirely sure, but let's move on and look at the glow light now. The device just keeps getting better and better, actually. The glow light is very, very nice, and it's very bright as well. It is quite blue on its blue setting, but you can change that with the warm light slider. And unlike even the Kobo devices, you can slide this and it changes. You don't have to let go every time for it to load into its new selection. So you can go all the way to orange, kind of looks super orangey, or they're unlike the Boyu devices, these stay on at the exact same time, so you can find a nice white balance and utilize all the LEDs on the device. And they are located, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but they are located at the bottom, and they disperse the light very nicely across the screen. Projects a little bit, but not too much. There's actually very little wrong with this device outside of it being the Chinese language only. It's well put together. This is the store. The store is always kind of there because it's the first of your 3 things you can click on, and this is what it looks like basically. So you have all of your books here. If you click on something, you get sent to the buying decision. Once that actually activates, everything will be in NT, new Taiwanese dollar, because this is a Taiwanese company first and foremost. You do have some information to toggle between the ISBN, stuff like that. If you are wanting maybe a book and you want it in English or something, just copy and paste the ISBN, see if there's some sort of English version of it. You do have a synopsis down here. That one says buy. I'm not sure what that one says, so I would assume the black highlighted one you click on, and then you will be sent to how to purchase the actual content. And you can search up here if you want to search through other things, and this will just be the kind of recommended stuff, and you can change categories and what have you on the left here. You know what, it is a little bit of a shame. This device is built extremely well. It has a lot going for it. It has physical page turn buttons, it's flush screen and bezel, you have a actual glow light button. It's made outside of China. It's actually made in Taiwan. And you have a little door on the side with a hard reset button and an SD card support. It's quite nice. Everything works really well. It's built really well. It's nice and tight. It's not creaky or clunky, and it's not overly heavy. It's a sharp-looking device with really good hardware potential. However, it being completely locked out of the non-Chinese, non-Taiwanese market hurts it a little bit, because unless you can read Chinese and are geolocated to Taiwan to make your buying decisions, your accounts, everything like that, you're going to find this kind of useless. But I hope they do something with this, because a simple software update can change absolutely everything on this device and bring it to more markets. For a review of the Mooink Plus by Readmoo, this is Peter. Everyone have a great day.